Mic check. Check, check. Hey everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. The timer has reached 0, so it's time to start the meetup. If you'll find your way, come sit up front. I don't want to feel alone. All you introverts, come sit up front. It's fine. I'll spit on you just a little bit. It's good to see you. I'm gonna change this screen because it just says 0. What does that mean? It means it's time for the meetup. So I'm gonna hit play on my slides. Oh, look at that. May Berlin AI Meetup. First of all, welcome to the meetup. It's so exciting. This is the February, March, April. This is the 4th edition of the May Berlin AI. This is the 4th edition of the Berlin AI Meetup. And it's so good to see all of you here today. Thank you for coming to the front, my introvert friends. Yeah, it is. It's super lonely up here. I'm so happy that all of you are here. There's plenty of food, plenty of drinks. Please get some, and it should last the entire evening. I think we've done well there. You know, I have to say, just to start, it's so much nicer having this many people. Last time I went a bit nuts, and there was 571 RSVPs. Yeah, and this room can have 160 maximum, and from that 571, about like 225, 230 came. I hated it. Like, as a meetup organizer, you would think, whoa, big meetup. It's the worst if the room can't handle it. I so underestimated how much heat all of your bodies generate when you sit next to. Man, I was like sweating, and it was cold, and I was like, I never ever want to do that again in this room anyway. So maybe we'll do a conference or something if that's part of the plan, but this size is perfect. It's cozy. Thank you for coming. So we've made some adjustments. Now everything's scheduled. We're doing it German style, so everything's countdown timers and clocks, because last time some speakers, like, you tell them they have 20 minutes, they take 60. Like, did we arrange this? Tudor. No, so this time there's clocks, there's timers. We want to honor your time. This meetup is one that honors people, and I think it shows. That's why you keep coming back, and so I'm very excited about that. I have slides this time. Crazy. I didn't think I would become this person. Let me introduce myself, and then we'll go from there. My name is Tejas. It's pronounced like contagious. I am not contagious, at least not with any diseases. But who knows? Maybe with like happiness or something. I don't. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And so. And I've had the privilege of working at many different companies over the course of my career. I'm very thankful for all of it. You may see Xata on there. Tudor is from Xata today. We did work together. Awesome. He was one of the best people I ever worked with. True story. Always high empathy, very good person. Today, this is the past. The present, today I work at DataStax. IBM announced plans to acquire us. That's still in progress. We're not jumping the gun. We're still called DataStax. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. And we make a product called Langflow. Which is this thing here. Which Langflow, the whole point is to make AI development straightforward, easy, and just a pleasure to work with, even for people who don't know Python or machine learning and all this. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. What other slides do I have? Okay, yeah, so Langflow, cool. And then Berlin, this is like raw dogging. Berlin AI Meetup, cool. We have some housekeeping to talk about. Mainly, this is the 4th time we do this meetup. We're learning. It's an iterative process. It's like a software engineering project. This is a good size. There's food, as you've seen. I made an announcement earlier. Vegans, if you're here, we have special food for you hidden somewhere so that people just don't eat up all your food. And that happened last time. And drinks, there's little empty crates. So if you just put your drinks back to where you took them from, we should be good. I think that's it. We abide by the Berlin Code of Conduct. That's very important. And so there will be no harassment. There will be no things like calling someone a junior engineer derogatorily. It's fine if you would like identify as that, but if you're like, what are you, junior? This happens sometimes, especially in like rocket internet startups in the history of the city, and we don't enjoy that. Hi, what's up? What's your name? Jace. Tees. Yes. Cool, man. I'm Tejas. Like, take a few letters out of my name and like we have yours. Great. That's I think it with the housekeeping. I am so excited today to show you some really fun demos. The team at DataStax has been cooking. We've been cooking, and they make some things. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this exists. I'm going to show you how we can now have like agents, AI agents that do stuff for us. But like actually do stuff for us. Yeah, a lot of AI agents were like, hey, here's a server that you run locally, and it works with some foreign service. Cool, but I can write a function to talk to some API. We're talking like I build an agent, a personal agent for me to like, hey, do I have any emails? Do I have book a meeting in my calendar? Like an assistant. I'm so excited about this. And so I'd love to show you that. In fact, let's get to it. Demos. This is my last slide. I'm so excited about this. So who here knows what agents are? Okay, good, all of you. Who here knows what it is like really? Like you can confidently come and explain AI agents on stage. You want to do it? Yeah, sure, come. This is awesome. Wait. Let me get you a mic. It just started and it's already going off the rails. I'm sorry. Here, can you speak into like both of these mics at the same time?
Cool, I can try to. Hi everyone, I'm Samuel. I used to work for SAP for 8 years. I was leading a team to develop AI agents as a product manager, and now work for MongoDB. You probably know them.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about agents? I think you all know it, so I just want to share some key takeaways I had.
Mic.
Cool. Yeah. So maybe for like 2 minutes or something, not to bore you too much. But when we start with agents, I think the most fun it's very easy to get started. So all of you who are a bit scared of starting, it's much easier. I think we hear that today as well, like LangChain is great for it. However, if you want to move into production, I think those tools usually come to the limitations, especially in an enterprise context. Like in SAP, and they were super smart developers, like 2 of the smartest of SAP probably. And when we wanted to create a more complex agent structure, with LangChain, we wanted to have a boss agent, and then a few other agents, like one that does summary, search, that controls what you're saying. It became very complicated with LangChain. And they spent around 2 weeks trying to fix it, like work around the framework to implement truly what we want to do. What we wanted to do was a decision and financial comparison agent. Like think about your company, you don't have enough analysts to check on your competitors, what they're doing, what news, what financial metrics they have. So our agent, you could just plug it in, you give it your strategy paper, your financial numbers. It does all this research for you and then checks the metrics, also which is more complex than you think. For example, we still have time? Or should I wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
Yeah, okay, wrap it up. And then anyway, so one of the key learnings was start with a framework if you're new, but if you want to go in production, it's actually easier to deploy it yourself, because then you have the freedom of deploying your agents, and this makes it actually very easy for us. And we had less than 2 weeks, we built a complete different agent structure with a boss agent and a few other agents as well. Just wanted to share this. Awesome. And curious, come to me, what are your experience from moving from POC to production?
Awesome. Hey, give it up for Samuel, everybody. Thank you. He said a lot about agents.
Mine?
Yeah, that's yours. I don't drink alcohol. Thank you. That's cool. That's very great. And he talked about how they're using agents, but he didn't explain what an agent is. You think everyone knows it, but nobody, like, I guess you couldn't see behind you. And I asked who confidently knows it. Everybody was like, no.
Okay,
Exactly. So let me do that. Let's talk about agents. We'll be very quick with this because I have demos I want to show you. An agent, think English. What is an agent? You work with travel agents, yeah? You work with hotel booking agents. You work with agents all the time. You're also an agent. Of what? Of chaos? No, like the word agency in English means you have the ability to, you have the freedom to choose and do stuff. That's what an agent is, ultimately. I am an agent because I have agency. With my agency, I organize a meetup. I talk about AI. That's what the definition of an agent is an entity that can take actions either on behalf of itself or others, period, okay? So now if we think about AI agent, that's literally an artificial intelligent agent. It has the ability to take actions on behalf of itself or others, in this case, you. When an AI can do that, it has agency, it's an agent. Clear? Excellent. Okay, so now let's look at this in practice with Langflow. Langflow, by the way, is open source. We don't make money from Langflow. It's fully open source. It's a server, it's a web server, which means you can run it locally or you can host it wherever you want. On the Langflow YouTube channel, there's literally like videos 3 minutes long on how you can host it on AWS, Fly.io, Render, whatever you want. It literally takes like 3 to 5 minutes to host this thing online. And so that's important for a reason. So I'm going to start Langflow. We're going to look at an agent, but Langflow is actually really great for teaching. I need to get one thing out of the way first. I am paid by DataStax to work at DataStax. I do say nice things about Langflow, but I don't say nice things about Langflow because I work on Langflow. I work on Langflow because I can say nice things about it. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not a shill here trying to be like, hey, our thing's great. No, I work there because the thing is nice. Okay? I think that's very important to just be genuine with you because there's a lot of people who work at places and they're forced to say their thing is nice. My heart goes out to you, maximum empathy. But Langflow is actually cool. Okay, so let me show you now Langflow. So we're going to go here, and this is my terminal. You can see that little tilde thing means this is just my home directory. And this is how you run Langflow. You do docker run. Port Langflow listens on 7860. Port 7860, we forward my host machine port to the container port. And let's see if I can, okay, whatever. And there, that's better, is it? Okay, and this is the name of the container, or the image. Langflow AI is the organization, Langflow is the project, and latest. And I'm literally just starting it from scratch here. I don't like have it running or anything. And Langflow is going to start, it's going to be a fresh installation. It's going to be super empty. I'm developing like major anxiety. Okay, cool, it's totally working. It's just like this, no feedback for the few seconds. So lots of warnings. I spoke with the team about this. I was like, why is this the first thing this is my job, by the way. I get to use this and like take the feedback to the team and be like, can we? So Langflow is running now on localhost 7860. So I'm going to command click on this. And we have welcome to Langflow. Langflow is the best way to build AI agents. Again, I'm not paid to say that. I work there for that reason. Let me show you. So we'll create our first flow, and you have all these templates and stuff. But honestly, I'm going to start with a blank slate. I'm going to switch to light mode because I think it's quite sunny outside. So let me switch to better. Okay, and now there's Langflow. It's just a blank canvas, but you can build agents here. And to build an agent, let's just start with an agent. This is an agent. The agent has a language model. Think of yourself as an agent, yeah? In your brain, you have a language model. I'm using it right now to give you tokens, yeah? And an agent has a language model, just like you as an agent have a language. It's a cheap, fake, counterfeit human being. Okay, so the language model is from OpenAI. We're going to use 4.0. I need to give it an API key, so I'm just quickly going to copy my OpenAI API key right here. This is my agent. Now you can see these things over here, the blue. The blue is an input. And what can you give to the agent? Well, let's go find a chat input. This is a chat input. And obviously, I'm building a chat interface, so I put the chat input here. Similarly, we have an output for the chat output right there. Okay, and so now this is a very like super basic agent. Okay, but like how? Can I hide this? Okay, cool. So if I go to the playground, I can say hi. And the agent is going to be like, hi, how can I? Cool, agent, wow. It's a chatbot that does nothing. But it's a start, you know, and it's totally working. I'd be like, what's the weather in Berlin right now? And let's see, I currently don't have access to real-time weather data. Well, of course, it's a kind of useless agent. It doesn't know. So what we need to do is enable this agent to access the internet and find weather information. Clear? So let's do that. There's a component called URL right here. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It just like makes an agent visit a URL. So right off the bat, we're going to turn on tool mode. And now this becomes a tool. Look at this, blue, blue, blue output, blue input. Oh, what's that? Well, let's connect. Oh, it's done. And I'm going to say, I'm going to turn off these two tools. And I'm going to say this one is important. So we'll call this tool browse internet. My font size big enough for all of you to see? Yeah? Browse internet. Whoa, let's not do that. And then the description is, use this tool. This is how the agent knows to use its agency. The description of tools is like super important. Use this tool to get the latest weather data. And I'm going to do even better, prefer BBC weather over other weather sites. And the reason for this is other weather sites, they render exclusively with JavaScript. So if their agents can't read JavaScript yet for the most part, or it's more expensive to do that. So I'm just saying, look, BBC is server-side rendered, just get that, okay? That's it. And notice, I'm not writing code. This is all plain English. So now I go back to the playground. I just like give it the same prompt, copy paste, and the, okay, cool. This is awesome. That's reproducing a bug. I shared it with the team. But here, the current weather in Berlin is clear with a temperature of 12. Wow, the wind is coming from west-northwest at 22, this very fast winds. But just like that, our agent went from being useless to useful. Crazy. And this is now hosted on my machine. Here, have a look. So if I close this, I go to publish, API access, any request to this endpoint with a payload, the input will generate the same output every time. It will use this agent. So now this agent is accessible over a web end. Any front end, any mobile app, any watch app, any car app can just use this agent. Crazy. But even more, this agent is exposed over MCP or Model Context Protocol. Anyone familiar with Model Context Protocol? Okay, yeah, I'd say like, gosh, 15% of everyone. We will spend more time on MCP later. But this agent is still kind of useless because who needs to add, like I pull out my phone for the weather app. I want something that is actually useful, okay? Let's do better. Let's have an agent, and this is what I'm really excited to show you this today because the team honestly has been cooking, and sometimes I'm not a nice person to work with. Tudor will tell you. For real, I'm just not a nice person to work because I love software that works and serves users. Ultimately, it's all about serving people. And this team has created in Langflow 1.4. Crazy. So let me show you. It's about to get so cool. We have a Gmail. Oh, what? Unbelievable. Now this thing uses Composio. Does anyone know what Composio is? Composio is an amazing service and company. I don't work at Composio. They don't pay me, but here, I'll show you. Composio.dev. Amazing. You log into Composio, and they have OAuth integrations with every provider on the Jira, GitHub, Google, Cursor, Spotify, your bank, probably N26, like whatever you want, they've got integrations. And so they also happen to integrate with Langflow. So I'm logged into my Google on Composio. And all I need here is a Composio API key that I will paste here, just like that. And it will take a moment to like actually log me in, but that's all it takes to enable access to my Gmail via Composio from Langflow. Absolutely bananas. I'm going to turn on tool mode as well. There might be some latency with authentication, mainly because I'm here on this Wi-Fi, which many of you are as well. So as soon as this little thing turns green, we're good to go, if it does. Let me be not so. Thank you. He's cheering. I love it.
Yeah. In the meantime, just a question: like the tool side, how do you in the background? You know how it's working? Like, are you leveraging the function calling from large language models in order to decide when to use a tool and whatnot?
That's the only way to use tools.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's how you do it. Huh?
Yeah, that's how everyone does. Langflow. Yeah, that's yes.
So you automate that part for the users, so non-technical people can quickly leverage that.
Correct. Langflow is fully declarative and visual. Let me see if I reload this flow. this is, again, hey, Gabriel, I hope you're watching. Gabriel works on this. Sometimes there's latency here, especially when it comes to saving API keys. I have no idea. And I'm really happy I get to show you this, because this is a fresh installation. And nothing is like pre-selected to be awesome. I'm not trying to like deceive you. Anyway, so
awesome.
Yeah, so now it's connected. There was some latency. But let's turn on tool mode here. And this changes. Let's give it a better tool. Let's go to the playground. Oh, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? The first time I did this, I was like, no freaking way. Connected to my, okay, what's my latest email? Is it worth paying attention to? Let's check. And so accessing Gmail, oh geez Louise, accessing Gmail, fetch emails, executed. Your latest email is from Luma. What? Come on, hey, that deserves, wow. 3 of you clapped, the rest of you are banned for life. The latest email is from Luma with a subject guest update. Here's a brief overview. Vida canceled their registration. Well, sorry Vida, you missed the great demo. The current registration count is 177 going and 20 not going. Crazy, that's my latest email. I can even here, let me, just so I'm not fooling around, can I switch? Can I? Oh, I'm maybe not logged in on this computer. Anyway, it's true. Let's do better. Let's add calendar. I think I'm logged in Google Calendar at least. So let me go to Google Calendar. Composio API key is already there, so cool. We'll turn on tool mode. And look, this is the cool thing about agents. You just give them tools and they do stuff. Think of yourself as a human being, as an agent, right? If you ask me as an agent, a human agent, hey Tejas, multiply 18 different prime numbers. I'll be like, and then what I'll do is, with my agency, I'll recognize, wait, I can't do that, but I know a tool. I have access to a tool that can do that. Let me access my tool. You see, so this is my tool, the calculator. And I'm still active here. My language model is still active here. So I have the tool, the calculator. Pay attention. And my language model is generating the inputs to the tool. Prime numbers, 13. I don't know what else is a prime number. 21, whatever. 23, what else? 19, whatever. So, okay, so you see what's happening. So my language model is generating the inputs, and then we call the function, and then look, I get and so this 5681 is still language to me, you know. Does this make sense how agents work? Okay, excellent. So now I've added my calendar. Let's take a look. Sometimes GPT-4o doesn't know what date it is. That's kind of a quirk with the model, so I will just ground it. And today is May 22nd, 2025. It is 7 p.m. What is in my calendar, right? This may not work. And I know this. I know why this may not work. Here, it may not work because I don't have access to your calendar. You might be thinking, what? You just gave it access. Did I though? Because there's granular permissions. So if we look at the Google Calendar, you can see select actions. It doesn't have access to any of these actions. Okay. So let's do it. So I want you to find event, fetch my calendar, get the current date and time, list my calendar. I think this is good for now. Notice it can do destructive things also, which is awesome. Depending. Okay, so let's start a session and ask. Today is May 22nd. It's 7 p.m. What's in my calendar? What? Interesting. Wait, what happened? Maybe it's the tool description. Let's say find event in my calendar. Wow, it's all controlled by the agent. That's amazing. All right. Did I connect? Oh, I didn't. Well. I love it. It would have been way more embarrassing if it was connected. Okay, so attempt number 3. Everything's connected. Here we go. Accessing find event. Let's go. Here are the events in your calendar. What? That someone started to clap and then stopped. Why, man? What's wrong with you? You like getting all Germanified? It's okay. Show your feelings. Okay, good. That's good. This is good. That's good. It's okay to show your feelings, everybody. Especially for the next speakers. Please show your feelings. Like, I do this all the time. I'm okay if you like treat me like garbage, but like for them, right? They took time out of that. Okay, so anyway, look, check this out. These are my events. Home, please ask before booking. I actually block out time where I don't allow meetings. And indeed, we have an all hands pregame, and now it's the, look at this. This is happening like right now from my calendar. Which one is the most important? You see, you can do this because like AI is cool like that. Determining the most important depends on factors. This might be important if networking, learning, or engaging is a priority for you. Well, let me tell you, it is a priority. But we can do better. Let's give it even more powers now that it has proven itself. Let's be like, I want you to create events. I want you to update events. What did you say? Find free slots. Yeah. Okay. So I will show you. This is my calendar today. We are here. This is right here. I can't. Oh, here. This one. And so let's maybe make an event for tomorrow. I have something here. Yeah. Tomorrow, 1:45. Sure. Let's try. So let's go to length. How cool is this, by the way? That's insane. Like, and it's running locally. So I'm not like sharing my. Okay. I'm using OpenAI's model here, but. You can, so Olama is a way to run open source models locally on your device. It can connect, in fact, you just go here to custom and you plug in Olama. Very, very easy. And that's the cool thing. You can test with OpenAI and then for production use something else.
But then Composio?
That's the other vector, yeah. What can you do? Composio will only interface with Gmail though. Like it doesn't know the conversation history, you know? So it just interfaces with Gmail, Google Calendar. Okay, so now let's do create an event. I need to reorient it. I don't trust that it knows when. So I'll say today is this. Create a lunch meeting with Tony Krunert tomorrow at 13:45. Okay? Oh, let's see. I don't even know. The part of the fun with AI is you don't even know what's going to happen here. So this is a bug, Gabriel. He asked me for a reproduction, but I couldn't reproduce. This is the reproduction live in front of like hundreds of people. Okay, so the lunch meeting with Tony Krunert has been, what did I just do?
Can I give you like free slots for Tony?
Let's check, but first, look at this, look at this. Lunch meeting, what? That's... Now it did it for 3:45, not 1:45. And it invited some random person. I love that. Someone's going to get a very annoying email. Sorry, Tony. Don't trust AI. So anyway, I think maybe there's time zone issues. This is 13:45 UTC. This is actually true. Fine. It didn't know my time zone. So just prompts, be careful. So what did you ask? Find free slots? Yeah, find me free. What's your name? A meeting with Abdul, like with a U, yeah. Aziz, anytime from May 22nd, 2025, and book a meeting with him. What's your email? Are you comfortable sharing that? It's too long. Okay, well, Fortnite Master 91. Someone's gonna get such a funny invite. Okay, and we'll send that. And this is so, I could just play with this all day. This scrolling bug, Gabriel, for real, Gabriel. Okay, so this is like, okay. I found some free slots starting from May 22. Here are some available times, 8:30 p.m. to 9 UTC, 9:45 to 11 UTC. Since there are no existing events with Abdulaziz, I can proceed to schedule a meeting with him. Would you like me to book one? Yes. And now the scroll bug appears. I'm so happy I finally reproduced this bug. And it's open source. Anyone in the room can fix it. Wow, that's really frustrating. Okay, so yes, the meeting with Abdul Aziz has been booked for 8:30 to 9 UTC. A Google Meet link has created. Oh, mashallah. Okay, so let's go. 8:30 UTC. What is that in Berlin? 10:30 p.m. Oof, meeting with Abdul Aziz. And it's just before my DevRel weekly. What? That's the team has been cooking, I'm telling you. And you just build it around locally now. But it gets even better when you host it, yeah? Because then you have you have an assistant that lives on the internet and you can access from any device, anywhere, anytime. Insane. And it's very easy to host. It's a server. Anyone know how to host a server? Just go to DigitalOcean or something. Okay, but this gets even better. What's this? Okay, so now the cool thing about Langflow is it exposes itself over model context protocol. Model context protocol is a game changer because that agentic stuff that I showed you right now without MCP, cool, but I have to go through Langflow to do it. Sucks. What if I could do that same thing? Talk to my calendar, my emails, but anywhere. ChatGPT. What if I could do it in Claude? Anyone using Claude Desktop? ChatGPT Desktop? Yeah. What if I could do it in Cursor? Anyone using Cursor? All of these are MCP clients. And the cool thing about MCP is when you have an MCP server sitting somewhere, any client, ChatGPT is an MCP client. The Windows operating system now adopted MCP. It's your window. You talk to your Cortana. I don't even know what the assistant is, right? But over MCP can give you a summary of your Gmails and your calendar. Insane. Of course, Apple, as usual, is late to this. But I want to show you the MCP behavior, and then we'll wrap up. We'll take a 15-minute break, and then we'll hear from Tudor, okay? Let me show you this MCP thing, because it's bananas. So everything I did, now I have an agent. It works. It's connected to my Gmail and my calendar. It can destructively make calendar events and so on. How can we expose this over model context protocol? Well, if we publish MCP server, the team has been cooking. So here, MCP servers, and you just copy and paste this. In fact, I don't like this UVX. There's other ways to do this, but you copy this. Let's open Claude Desktop. Claude Desktop. Wow, my Claude Desktop super broken. Let's go to develop. This is how you configure MCP, by the way, in Claude Desktop. You open this configuration file, which is just JSON, and come on. There we go. Okay, and so we're going to delete all my MCP servers here. Okay, and now when you want to use Langflow in any other MCP client, Claude Desktop, ChatGPT, Cursor, you just copy the MCP server, paste it. Whoa, paste it. Right. What? What happened? Copy and paste just like that, and we're ready. But actually, we can do better because we don't want to use a command. MCP can work over something called SSE. Anyone familiar with this? Server sent events. It's on the HTTP protocol. And this is what you're going to use for remote hosted. So instead of command, I don't want to do command. I want to do SSE. I don't know why it doesn't give me SSE here. But let's, here, this is a Langflow. Actually, this one here, MC Player 1, that's a Langflow server. So I'm just going to change this to localhost. How about that? 0.0.0.0. API v1 MCP. This should be fine. 7860, I forgot the port, my bad. Okay. Let's copy this and paste it in Cursor. Anyone vibe coding in Cursor? I spend like 80% of my day in Cursor. As you can see, this is my health data. So let's go add this to Cursor. This is how you add an MCP server to Cursor. So you go to MCP, and you add a new MCP server, and you just paste it right here. Maybe not MCP servers. Okay, and we'll do a comma. And we'll call this my email thing. Okay, save. And now let's go back to Cursor settings. You can see my email thing is available. And you can see that the tools is untitled document. Well, that kind of sucks. The AI is not going to know. So let's go fix this in Langflow. And we'll edit, instead of untitled document, we'll call it Google Assistant. And we'll say assistant. Use this tool to manage my Google stuff. Okay? And now let's go back to Cursor. Does it update? No, but let's refresh. Refresh. Maybe, oh, there. Oh, it changed for a second, right? Did you see that? Let's kill Cursor and start again. Sometimes it's a bit, there we go. No tools available. Come on, you know you want to. What? Cache issue. Let's just try anyway and see what happens. Check my Gmail now, please. Would it still do it? I don't think so because it needs the metadata. I'll help you check your Gmail. Oh my God, it knows untitled document. Oh, what? Okay.
From the title that you said my email?
Probably. Yeah, could be. And so now it's doing this. It's talking. My other app, not even in Langflow, is talking to my hosted Langflow, and it's like, checking my Gmail. This will take some time, of course, because it has to go through many layers of authentication. This will get faster over time. Because now, first of all, Cursor has to authenticate with Langflow. Langflow has to authenticate with Composio. Composio has to authenticate with Google. OK, here. I retrieved multiple of your latest Gmail emails. It looks like yeah, multiple cancellations. Wow, thanks, guys. And a reminder that the meetup is starting in 1 hour. So it also knows today's date. Crazy. I'm using this outside of, you can use this anywhere. You can use this from your phone. You look like you have a question. I will take questions in a second. Final thing is I get to build cool stuff. I get to cook. And I will set up the talk for the next months. We're doing this again in June. Details will come in your email. But I got to build something so awesome. It's not even published yet, but I want to leak it, okay? I want to leak it. I may get in trouble. There is a live stream, sorry, but I'm going to leak. It's so cool. Sometimes you build things and it's so cool and you're like, I just want to tell people. So there's a whole campaign we're planning and all of this, but let me show you. This is just for the Berlin people. We'll cut it out of the live stream maybe. So let me go to Gmail. Let me first make sure that I'm Gmail. Okay. Is this my Gmail? This is my Gmail. Come on. Lots of Berlin AI thing. Ignore all my confidential stuff. Very, very important. But I've been working on something that I want to show you that is so cool, which is you can send an email. You know how sometimes, let's search for Luma. Actually, I have a Luma email here, yeah? Berlin AI, this one. You see that, wait, maybe that's not the best one. Luma, let's search for Luma. Luma? Okay, guest update. Yeah, you see, this is sent from noreply@lumamail.com. Anyone receive? You all receive this, yeah? No reply. This email address, no reply, is to tell you, like, don't reply to this. It's not. But we have AI now. And so with Langflow, what you can build, and what we recommend you build with Langflow, is please reply. And so you can try this right now. Send an email, please reply at langflow.new. And you can be like, hi, sup, how do I host Langflow? It's open source, right? And you just send that off. And like at some point, the AI will be like responding to you with, and this may have, it takes like maximum 1 minute. And so I hope you enjoy reading all of my emails, everybody. This is so, I didn't plan to receive so many. Anyway, in a couple of seconds, we'll have this. While the AI agent goes to work and responds to my email and so on, I want to invite you, if any of this resonates, if you want to learn more about Langflow, I'll throw up a QR code on the screen. This is where you can find out more about Langflow. Use it if you want. It's open source again. Like there's no paywall or anything, and you can build your own agents, just like that. Agents that you can then expose over MCP. Agents that you can do whatever you want with. So I leave that with you. When I see the last phone go down, we'll check my email. I'm so excited. I spent this week basically working on this email thing. That's what I want to show you, you know. And then next month, the June Berlin AI Meetup, we'll talk about how we built this. It's fun. It's really fun. Because you want to prevent hallucinations when you send emails, you know, like you don't want to send useless emails. It's connected to our docs. It's connected to our YouTube channel, our blog and everything. Okay, the phone gone down? Good. Come on, don't disappoint. Oh, what? That's crazy. 7:36 p.m. Let's open this. Yes, Langflow is open source, and you can host it yourself. Here's a general guide. Oh my Lord, goodness. And here for more detailed instructions, you can refer to this link that's totally not hallucinated. What? This is an automated response. Please reply if you have any more questions, and you know, follow us on social. And then you can even be like, cool, thanks. And it will always have the last word. So you can't say thanks, it will say something, you know. Anyway, so that's coming. That's going to be open source. We're going to be doing a big campaign around it, and we're going to be teaching. Part of my job is not just building cool stuff, but also teaching how to build cool stuff. So we're going to be teaching about that as well at the next meetup and otherwise. So thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to share these things with you. I take a lot of joy and delight in them, and I hope you do as well. We're going to take a 15-minute break. I will set a timer here. Please, please, please always look at the screen because I do want to have to start again without coming and screaming at you like, hey, come back. Okay, 15 minutes, yeah, too many zeros. We're going to start this 15-minute timer.
We should ask Langflow for a 15-minute timer, no? I mean, to the MCP server, no?
That's a great idea. Next time. Yeah, so we'll do it after the break. Tudor is going to come up. Tudor is the CTO of a Berlin-based startup called Xata. I used to work there. And they are Postgres at scale. They help you with your database, but they've got Xata AI, which is an AI agent that sits in front of the database and manages it for you. He's going to tell you more of the details. I'm not going to do that. That's in 15 minutes, and then after that, we're going to do another break, and then we're opening the stage to lightning talks from the community. 5-minute talks. Whoever wants to, you'll get your chance again. Samuel, if you want to. And we prefer demos there. So come ready to show something, and we'll set up your screen and everything. Does that sound good? That sounds like a good plan?
Amazing.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, everyone. We'll see you after the break.
Yeah, I got the impression everyone know about agents.
live stream. Yes, tell me. Tell me, what did you want to say?
No, I was about to say I just got to know about about you, and then they even they're like, okay.
Hey,
Like,
nice.
yeah,
Thanks, man.
yeah. That's like very interesting.
Thank you for that. I'm having problems. This live stream is so improvised, bro.
Yeah.
It's so improvised. It's crazy. All right. I hope this works. Hi. How are you? Doing well. Doing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ooh, someone from Finland is watching the live stream.
Okay,
Right on,
yeah, I'll
bro.
be watching from Mexico the next one.
Wow. I somehow doubt that, but if you do, I appreciate it.
No, like, or at least what I heard so far, I'm really curious.
You live in Mexico.
Yes.
What?
I'm just here to say hi to friends and family for 2 weeks.
Man, that's amazing. You chose to come to a meetup.
Yeah, she invited me.
That's cool. Thanks. Nice to meet you as well. Nice to meet you, Paul. Yeah, so you guys do like AI stuff. You're just interested
No,
in
I started a real estate business.
So you can now bring Golubenco AI to your business. That's
Yeah,
like automated.
yeah. What's your business? How do you guys make money? Extend it?
We also have a database that's used by like Apple and Netflix. They get a lot of they pay.
So this is how do you say?
well, what? Hey, welcome back, everybody. The timer is 0. I love having a timer. I love having a timer because it means everybody just follows the digital god. Some of you may be wondering why this event's in a church. I said digital god. I feel like I should justify, Yeah, Dina came to me, she's like, is this a church? Technically, yes. But it used to be an AI company before. True story. And then they found Jesus. No, so what happened was, I mean, that would be kind of cool. No, but what happened was, ThoughtWorks. Anyone know ThoughtWorks? Okay, so ThoughtWorks is this giant Berlin AI consultancy type company. And what ThoughtWorks has done was they got this building, this space. This is ThoughtWorks, actually. And they grew super fast. And then they weren't familiar with German contract law. And so they needed am I telling the story right? Tony, okay, he's like, yeah, kind of. Correct me if I'm wrong, because Tony's the pastor here, he knows everything. And so then they got locked in this contract, and they had to keep the place. And they're like, wow, but we're paying for nothing. And then Tony showed up and was like, hey, everyone, we're a church. Can we use your space? We'll pay you. And they were like, yeah, okay. And this is why there's a church now. Is that accurate? Kind of?
That is kind of accurate, yeah.
Yeah! Yeah.
They are still paying part of the rent.
Yeah, okay. They're still paying part of the rent. But so is it the bigger part, I guess? If it is, it counts as an AI off. Anyway.
No, it isn't.
Oh, okay. Our next speaker. Hey, I've been very excited about this because I used to work. I got the privilege of working with this wonderful man. And I mean it. I mean he's a wonderful, wonderful man, really. Oftentimes when we talked internally, high empathy, cared a lot about people. Even after I left, I heard asked about me often. Just Tudor is a friend and a great person. And he's going to tell you about Xata, Postgres, AI. But look, you were not so kind to me because none of you clapped. It's okay, I can deal with it. I'm a big boy. Treat him differently. Treat him better. I want you to give him the biggest welcome, the biggest round of applause for Tudor!
All right, thank you. I'll take it as well. Share slides. All right, can you hear me? Stream okay? Thanks for the introduction, Tejas. Yeah, I did work with him. He is sometimes hard to work with, I guess. But I also miss working with him, so that compensates at least. And I should have seen this coming, but yeah, he's great, one of the best persons that I know. But it's hard to follow after him to give a public presentation of any kind.
Reshare your screen, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's for the live stream.
It's fine. So I will speak about how we're building an agent, an AI agent of our own, and you know, all the things that we have to solve for that. But I will start with a little bit of an introduction about Xata. So what we do, PostgreSQL is what we call it. We're a Postgres company. We're helping companies with a bunch of challenges that they tend to hit once they hit a certain scale with Postgres. And when I say scale, it's not strictly the number of servers, the data size, and so on. It's also things like how many schema changes you do, downtime requirements, these sort of things, how many developers you have, how do you operate and monitor, and so on, which is partially what this talk is about. So all these sorts of things. Because we are a Postgres platform, so we run people trust us with their database, you know, what their data is, with all the requirements for that. We are running, monitoring, and operating Postgres for a lot of our customers and users, seeing tens of thousands of them that are active. This means we're also on call for them, meaning that we can, you know, it's like many are not from Europe, so their customers are not for Europe, meaning their peak time might be during the night here. So that means we need to do during the night on call. So let me ask a few questions to survey the audience here. How many of you are using Postgres as a developer or so? Yeah, like most people, that's great. So at least you understand what I'm talking about. And how many of you are in some sort of SRE, DevOps, full stack role in which you are somewhat responsible of that Postgres instance? Okay, there's a few. Anyone on call, doing on call? Okay, and there's like 3-4 poor persons. During the night as well? Yes? Okay. Great. And the last question I'm not even going to ask because I'm sure you don't particularly want to do that, right? So for all the others, basically what it means is that you get wake up at night. There are tools like PagerDuty and so on that call your phone, and there's an application that makes sure that you are actually awake so that you can address whatever has happened, whatever problem was. And this is kind of a true story here that I summarize it. So I received a page, maybe it was 3 a.m. And then, you open your laptop, you need to wake up a little bit. You need usually pull like a dashboard to see what the heck happened. You usually correlate between different metrics. That's what you do to see, like what's going on. In this case, actually, the metrics had a spike, but then started to go down little by little, which usually means that it's probably going to solve by itself. And it was the case. I didn't actually had to do anything, but I still woke up to check on it. So in the end, it did auto-resolve in like 10 minutes or something like this. So it was in the end not a problem. However, I was already awake by then because this was half an hour. So then I went to bed and couldn't really fall back to sleep. It was like 4 by that time, and then at 6:45 my alarm clock goes off because I had to take my daughter to school. So I didn't really sleep much. However, I was thinking about why can't an AI agent have done that? Because in the end it was just waiting for it to auto-resolve. So this is how the idea came up, that maybe this can be better for me, right? So the result is the Xata agent. It's an open source project. We're developing it in the open, essentially. Anyone can use it, contribute to it. It's a full open source project. You can just Google Xata agent and you'll get to the GitHub page. And I will try to do a quick demo. I'm putting this here. Let's see. And I will have to be actually quick with the demo because usually, let me find where it is. There. Usually I get excited and speak too much about Postgres and stuff, so keep me honest if I'm not done in 5 minutes with it. All right. So it's like this. It's actually a web app. This is what it is. It's a Next.js app. We'll speak about the tech stack in a minute. But what you do is give it access to your infrastructure. Basically, how you would onboard a new employee on the team. So what you do is connect to the database, like give it the connection string, the Postgres connection string. You can then have it collect some information about your tables, what extensions you have, settings, and so on. Then is the important part where you connect it to your cloud management metrics and logs. So it's not just that it can speak to the Postgres instance, it can view how the instance performs with metrics and logs, error messages, and so on. So that's being done here. And then you configure notification. And for now, it supports Slack notification, so it will notify you over Slack if something goes on. And if you did all of this, then you can use it to basically start chatting with the agent. So this will, I have asked it now to do like an initial assessment. Tell me about the database that I have. Do you notice anything, and so on? And you will see up here, well, I think we'll have to wait for it to finish a little bit. It tells me, what extensions I have, some recommendations, and it makes these extensions because it knows it uses by itself. So it's like, he's like, okay, install pgstat statements because it knows it was going to need that in the future. But you see here it calls some tools, and this is very, very similar with the tools that Tejas was talking about earlier, just that those were tools about Gmail and your calendar and the weather and so on. These are very specific tools for Postgres instances, things like get table info. Yep, like this. So things like get table info, get connection stats, and these sort of things. Okay. And then you can ask other stuff like, are there any performance issues with my database right now? And again, it calls a bunch of tools. The model decides which tools to call, right? This is like the agency stuff. And in this case, again, it found some things. I can ask follow-up questions and so on. But this is a chat interface. It's not really what I wanted, right? I wanted the agent to kind of continuously monitor the database and tell me when something goes wrong or something like this, right? So then we have the notion of playbooks. These are they're more like simple English written playbooks. The people that are on call know that these are very common in companies. Basically, if something happened once, you document it. Next time it happens, you basically follow the same steps for resolution or something like this. So this is kind of the same idea. You can also think of them as prompts, right? There's a prompt for the model with what steps it should do. It kind of guides a little bit the agent into what to do. And these playbooks, you can run them. For example, this is the general monitoring one, and it's again the same deal. It will first get the playbook, the actual text of the playbook, then get a bunch of metrics, the logs, and so on and so forth. And you see in this case, it actually did find some stuff that the agent is concerned about, like CPU utilization is going up and down, and so on. And then these playbooks you can schedule to run periodically. So I'll take this one and I'll say schedule. And here you choose the model that you want. You support a bunch of models. How often to run, and you can give it a cron expression, or you can just let the agent decide on its own, like when should the next run. And then there's this thing max steps, which means how much it should drill down into other playbooks, like it found an issue. Now pick another playbook that you can use to investigate that issue until it finds kind of the root cause and such. And then you can add like at which level to notify you over Slack that it is, and then you create a schedule. We do have support for running your own custom tools via MCP, and I'm really glad that Tejas already explained what MCP is. Basically, these are local MCP servers for now, but they come with custom tools, right? And you can create your own pretty easily. And yeah, that about covers it. Let me just show you also a Slack notification, which I will increase the font size again. So when something happens, it sends this to our Slack with, this instance had this problem. It's at critical level, so you should have a look. And then what you can do is open in chat, which will open the whole, it opens kind of the whole dialogue that the agent has with the model in order to trying to figure it out. And you can see here what it did. First, we started from that general monitoring playbook, but then it noticed that there's high CPU, and then there's recommendations, and based on that, there are other tools, other playbooks being called. Investigate high CPU and the agent decides on itself, and so on and so forth until it gets to an actual actionable item that, like a recommendation for a particular SQL and so on. And I already spent more than 5 minutes, so I will switch back to the slides. If I can find them in all my ready.
Sometimes then they're like the full view if you scroll up.
Yeah. Yeah. Here. Ah, yeah. Thanks. Right. Let's talk about how we build this, and briefly the tech stack. As I was saying, this is actually a Next.js application, and the only real dependency of it is also Postgres. So we use Postgres to save configuration and all this kind of stuff. It's written in TypeScript. It's using the Vercel AI SDK, which gives us, it's kind of a framework, but a very lightweight framework. So it mostly gives you access to the different models, a way to run it in agent mode, to call tools, these sort of things. We're also using the official MCP TypeScript SDK. You can self-host this, and we provide like a simple Docker Compose file, but it's only one container, so it's pretty easy to run. We are considering Mastra. Mastra is a TypeScript framework, kind of built on top of Vercel AI SDK, bringing a bunch of more functionality, but we don't use it actually right now. We use Ollama for local models, which is optional, but if you want to run fully, because some people say, well, I don't want contents of my database to maybe be sent to the cloud or something like this, so they want to run everything local. That's possible for Ollama. We can use also optionally LangFuse for observability and Light LLM as an API gateway. These are open source projects. Right, and let's talk about tools and playbooks. So as I was saying, the main thing about this is providing specific tools that the agent can call, and this is where all the hard work goes in providing the right tools to get the important things so that it works. There's actually code there. I hope you can see it. Just to give you an idea of what the tool implementation looks like, it's actually pretty simple. It has you see like a description, but the tool can also receive parameters, right? Like let's say a query or a database name or a table name, which are in a Zod schema. If you're familiar with TypeScript, that's very common. And then it's basically a JavaScript function or TypeScript function that does the actual execution. In this case, this is the actual implementation of the explain query. It does it in a transaction that we can then roll back. It's just a nice trick so that we are sure that the agent doesn't do anything bad. And then there's the playbooks, which I was telling you about. These are really just English text with, step 1, step 2, just to make sure that the agent is actually checking all this stuff rather than, making up something else. It's just a little bit of guiding. And then we have this notion of schedules monitors to execute the playbooks periodically. This is how we do the periodic monitoring. Then let's talk about adding custom tools. And we do this via the model context protocol, as I was saying. So why would you want this is, like when you run into your infrastructures, you might have different procedures for example, scaling up or scaling down. Like if it's RDS or Aurora, maybe we know how to do it, but each company is a little bit different. So you might have your own tools you might want the agent to give access to. Those could also be like I don't know, like a lot of things that are specific, maybe application specific and so on. And the way it works is that, so the agent acts as an MCP client, and it can start MCP servers on its own using the standard in or out protocol, which means that there's no authentication or anything like that needed. It's just using standard in and standard out to speak with it. So that's pretty simple. That's what we support right now. we want to also be able to support various MCP servers provided by other companies. Since MCP is now so popular, all, like AWS and GitHub and so on, they all are adding or will add their own MCP servers with tools and so on. This is actually great for an agent like this one because it just other people do the work for us, right, in providing those tools. Then you get into a different challenge, which is that when the model is faced with so many tools at the same time, sometimes it doesn't know which one to pick, and many will have similar names, similar descriptions. It might get confused and call the wrong one. So then there's a challenge of how do you filter the tools, reduce the set. It's similar with the playbooks. Like in the playbook, sometimes we are explicit. We say, call this tool because we know that that's working. So yeah, these are the challenges that we have to face. Models. Let's speak a little bit about models. As I was saying, Vercel AI is actually quite nice because it provides a same TypeScript, type-safe interface to all of these models. We also support local models via Olama, as I was saying. The thing is, what we need from models is to be able to call tools, which in the local model is actually not yet very common. We had best results with this Qwen 2.5 from Olama, if you ever have to do something like this. Then picking the right model, it's actually also quite interesting right now. So the reasoning models, like O1 or O3 and Claude 3.7, they get you better results. But they're also more expensive. They also take longer. That's fine for us because we don't care so much about the latency. We care more about having the correct result. But they are more expensive, and so there's a balance there. And we'll talk about pricing in a second, actually right now. So what does this cost? Just to give you an idea, if you call this every 15 minutes and ask it to check a database instance and run that playbook and investigate and so on, it turns out it costs us about $2 per day per monitor database, kind of like that. Is it expensive? Pretty expensive, but it's cheaper than hiring someone, that's for sure, so yeah. It could definitely be less. There are many ways of optimizing this. This is not really, like cost optimized. We could use a turbo model for some things. Right now, we just use the same model for everything. We could also trigger not every 15 minutes, but based on metrics, like only if some metrics indicate that it's worth. So it could be a lot less, like it's not something fundamental. But also models are getting cheaper over time and smarter, and so it might not even be a need. It could also be more expensive if we were using a reasoning model. Right. Okay, now we're moving a little bit into what we want to do, so which we don't have yet, but what we want to do. There's the approval workflow. So one thing I forgot to say is all our tools are safe, so they don't let the agent just hallucinate a random SQL and then just execute that, because we don't want it to. Yeah, we don't want it to hallucinate like a truncate table or something like this. To be like, oh, you have so much data, that's why it's slow. Let me cut it a little bit. We don't want that, right? However, we do want it to add indexes and so on. So that's why we'd like to have this approval workflow. If you're using Cursor or any of these agents, they do this, right? It runs, and then when there's a shell command, it asks you, do you want to do it, or do you want me to be in YOLO mode where I just execute stuff and so on? So we can do the same. We want to do the same. Then there's the topic of evals, which I think it's a very interesting topic. How do you test an AI agent? Because it's statistical stuff. It doesn't always answer the same thing. So it's pretty challenging. Also, we have support for all these models. We're adding tools. We're changing prompts. how do we know that we actually making better? Or how do we know when we make something better, how do we know that we didn't break another use case and so on? This is actually quite challenging, and it reminds me how it was when, like at the beginning of my career, there was automated tests were not yet in the culture, in the common culture. So you would always like do some stuff, move fast, you broke something else, had to go there and kind of going in circles. I feel like here we are again in that place, and we have to figure out how to constantly improve quality and not go back and forth, So how do we want to do this? And this is work in progress, we're working on this. The thing is, we rely a lot on these tools, right? But the problem is, we're testing the agent with a lot of real life cases. As I said, we're using it on our own to monitoring the Postgres databases that we have. But we would like to save this situation, kind of save the world, so that we can then try it with different set of parameters or different model. So that's the idea, that we would, when something happens, we run all the tools and save the answer like in a big JSON or something like this, and that's the view of the world at that moment. It's a bit tricky with the parameters, so we have to have then also, different variations of parameters. But that's the idea, and we save then all the tools, and then when the agent runs, we mock the tools, we use the tools that actually just get that JSON. And then there's this notion of a judging model. I don't know if you are familiar with this. The idea is that you let one model do something and then ask another model to check, is this right? Is this the same solution in the end? Because it's not going to be the same solution word for word. It's always different, a little bit different, but it might mean the same thing, right? And then you use this other model to do the comparison. So this is like, again, like some really interesting topics that happens now when building an agent. Then there's the question of memory, agent memory. It would be really useful. We don't have it yet, and we have parts of it. So there are 3 types of memory I think that would be useful for this agent. One is just facts, like this is the instance size, this is the database, this is the Postgres version. These facts can change, like you do an upgrade or something like this, but they don't change often. So you would like the model to always know this, being like in the system prompt. Then there's the recent memory, what happened in the previous run or in the previous few runs. Because sometimes, it's like maybe the CPU usage is relatively high, but 2 hours ago it was even higher. So it's actually, that's good news if it's only 60% now instead of 90%, right? So that's very important for the agent to use that as knowledge. This is how we're actually pretty close to do this, because we are actually saving the previous runs, so we just need a tool to access them. And then there's the long-term memory, where we would use typically like a vector database to find similar incidents. Like this is the situation I'm facing. Let's see if I ever saw this before, and what we did then. Did the user like it? Didn't like it? So this memory, it's like another really good way for us to improve the model. I'm pretty excited about that. I think we talked about that already. Then there's the code integration part. So the Zeta agent right now speaks mostly with PostgreSQL and the cloud provider to understand what's going on now. But it would be really nice if you would also have knowledge of your application, like what ORM you're using, what schema changes tool you are using, what were the recent PRs, maybe one of those PRs broke something, these sort of things. And then it can actually help you solve issues. It will open a PR to solve the issue, ideally, sometimes, I don't know. And that's pretty much it. As I said, it's open source. If you want to help with this kind of stuff, you actually can. First of all, the best way would be if you can deploy it. If you are using Postgres now, you want it to help you. Then if you deploy, that would be great. It supports really any Postgres SAS. It's best if you use one of those, RDS, Aurora, GCP Cloud SQL, because for those we have already integrations, but we can add more. And then if you want to contribute to the project, all this stuff that I talk about, if it's interesting to you, it's open source. It's a good way to getting experience in this stuff. So feel free to contact me if you are interested. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tudor. Is this mic on? Is it? Oh, nice. Thanks. Real-time feedback. We see, wow, he's eager with questions already. Tudor, you have time for questions?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Fantastic. We want to hear from you. It's a dialogue. So just one thing, if you can repeat the question for the live stream.
Yep. Cool. Go ahead.
There was a question there.
Yeah. Split lane.
My question is, there was one thing I missed. It's like, are you using some kind of system prompts? Because if I understood, you're not fine-tuning the LLMs.
Correct.
Okay, so do you have some kind of magical, dark magic system prompts operating under the hood, or?
So let me repeat the question. So the question is if we have a system prompt and some dark magic prompts that maybe can reuse. Yes, we have a system prompt, and those playbooks act kind of our secret sauce, except that it's not secret. It's just open source, and you can see it in GitHub.
But the playbooks are not something that normally the people from operations will have already, but something you are providing in the project.
Both. So we provide a few, and you can add your own. So both. But there's also a system prompt that's always there, and it contains some instructions, general instructions for the model, as well as the Postgres version, the instance type, these sort of things.
My last question, have you tried a little bit of self-play with the local Postgres instance that the bot uses, or?
Sorry.
Self-play is for self-supervised learning, or that it tries to play with the Postgres instance itself to learn the kind of things it can do?
No, we didn't do that. The question is if we tried some, some unsupervised learning to just let the model play and create its own situation, these sort of things. That's an interesting idea. Yeah. No, we didn't get that far yet. No.
There was another question somewhere here. Was it you, Samuel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I was first or second.
I can see. It's fine.
Okay. First of all, to the great presentation. I really enjoyed it on how you touch base on all of the essential parts. My question was, so I feel like hallucination and consistency, as well evaluating models and actually the outcomes. I feel like those things, at least for me, are top of my mind. As I love that you touch base on this as well. And especially with like LLM as a judge, I'm sure you know the paper. And my question is, how would you get started to tackle those? What's the approach, what you showed them, how you get there? Have you tried things and you failed where you say, you would not recommend to do this, and things you recommend to do? Because I feel like it's very challenging. There's little best practices in the industry. Right.
Okay, that was pretty long question to repeat, but the gist of it, how do you deal with consistencies in results? Because sometimes you get great results and you're proud of them, but sometimes it hallucinates and makes absolutely no sense, right? And that was the evals portion. And then like if we had any learnings from it. So my first learning was that initially we are trying to reproduce those situations with a Postgres instance, and we were like, okay, let's produce high CPU, or let's try to consume all the memory so that we see how the model reacts. And that's fine at the beginning, but it's very time consuming to always do that all the time. So that's why we now want to do this automatic saving of words. I think the idea is interesting to also let the model generate its own test cases in a way. But I don't know, I think in the end it has to be something like build a library of tests, if you want, a library of evals, and then you have some sort of a benchmark. So then you can improve on that. System prompts, different models, maybe fine-tuning, all these sort of things, right? Play with settings.
We have time for one more question. I think it was in the back somewhere there. If you still have your question, will you show me your hand? No? Okay. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? If no, there we go. That's why we do it auction style.
Yeah, just to share my experience with this kind of incidents. In most of the cases, there is a problem in the application. The query is written badly. You mentioned that it also provides like some possibility to make pull requests. Is it really working? Is it really deploying application during the night?
No, that's something that we want to do. We don't have it yet. So the question is if we can actually do pull requests if the agent can do pull requests and maybe even at night to solve things. The question is no, not yet. We do want to do that and see how it works, and probably we will not auto-merge the pull request, like to start with. But I think the first actions that we actually want to do is, well, this has to do a little bit with the Xata internal implementation, but it's things like scale up and scale down. Those are, especially scale up, that's often not really solving the problem, but it can mitigate it enough until the morning. So if you pay more, but you don't wake up someone, depends where you are, these sort of things, yeah.
Great. That was all the questions we have time for. Tudor was here. He's going to stay, I hope.
I am.
Okay, cool. He's going to be around. He will answer your questions async. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Whoa! Incredible. Thank you, Tudor. Thank you. We're going to take a short break. And in this break, I want you to think carefully and deeply about maybe giving a talk here. We have 2 talks by hand-picked speakers. One of them is me. It's very easy to pick myself. So really one, and I choose the speakers, and they're people who I appreciate, and I think they have value. Did you get value from that talk? Yes? Exactly. And so last time we had Nico Albanese, who works on the Vercel AI SDK. He makes it, and he shared a lot with us. That's probably why there were so many RSVPs. Next time we're going to have probably Lucy, she works on EU AI policy at Hugging Face. So sign up for the June one. And we're just having these great people. So that's over. We're going to take a break, and now we open up the stage to community lightning talks. These are short talks, 5 minutes, maybe 7, maybe 10 if you're like really good. I'll be honest. Whatever. It's just a meetup. But we prefer demos. So if you have something to show, this is usually what happens here is entrepreneurs, Berlin-based, would be like, here's my startup, which honestly I don't mind, as long as you're not like shilling or selling. Think about it. You have a break. If you want to do a lightning talk, 5 to 10 minutes, come see me in the break. If not, we'll come back in 15 minutes. And if nobody wants to do a lightning talk, we'll just wrap up. And you can stick around and network or leave or whatever. Okay? So we'll take a break for 15 minutes and we'll come back. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the break. Can you hold this? Yes. The raffle. Yes.
I remember.
Thanks for reminding me.
My question about the Langflow.
Okay. Archana. You gotta plug this, like clip this on yourself. Oh, it's on. Yes. Yeah.
Can I?
Wow.
Hey everyone, we're gonna come back in like 30 seconds, and we have 2 lightning talks. 2. We have Archana and Eugene. Yevgen. And then so 5 minutes. It's gonna be really quick. Yes. I hope they're gonna be very quick, and then we'll eat more
Pizza will network. We're gonna plug in some HDMI right here. You don't have HDMI?
No, but I have a connector.
It's okay. I have a connector too.
I have the order max. I have it.
Oh, it's on that side. This is like the most impractical. All right. The mic was on too. All right. Is it going to work? I'm going to introduce our next speaker while this figures itself out. And I'm going to close this. You good? You have enough room? All right. Hey, thanks for coming back, everybody. Our next speaker is struggling. Give her some support, everybody. Come on. Love it. We have such a great
Support
community.
can help with the
Tech support can help. I'm here. What's the problem? Is it? What? It's not that funny. Can you click on the purple icon over there? Here. I got you. This one. Currently sharing nothing. Oh, that's fine. You're good. Why is this not? Do you have an adapter? Let's try yours. Maybe it's our adapter. This is one of those old MacBooks that doesn't like HDMI. But we'll try. Yeah, maybe we'll bring the laptop closer. And then there. Is that better? Is it? Who's laughing?
Is there another port maybe?
There's not. There's only 2 USB-C ports.
Okay.
And they're all on like the far side.
Jesus.
Apple has lost it.
Jesus.
While she sets up, I'm just going to rant about Apple.
Yeah.
Did anyone see the news from OpenAI?
The hug photo.
The romantic pregnancy announcement. I expected like someone to have like a pregnant belly and like arms from behind. If this is weird, Johnny Ive, the person who designed, maybe not this, but anyway, Apple's former VP of design. And hi, outside people. Apple's former VP of industrial design has joined OpenAI to make hardware products, which is kind of cool. If you ask, some of you may ask ChatGPT, show me the product that Johnny Ive is designing internally. Some people have done this, and there's rumors that it's like a donut-shaped object that you talk to or something. I don't know. So Alexa, yeah, probably. Apple like a silver aluminum Alexa. Oh, it works! I'm so proud of myself for like improvising so rapidly. Our next speaker's name is Archana. Am I saying that right? Archana? And works at Scale Down. Last month, Neil from Scale Down was here, and he was like, we gotta get a talk on your... So Archana's gonna tell us about Scale Down.
Yes.
Awesome. The microphone's over there. You got to use both.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
One's for the live stream. It's just when you have a live stream, I don't know. Should we keep having a live stream? I don't even. Okay. Wow. He's like, yes.
How many people watching?
That I don't know. I just do it because we want to be inclusive.
Can you ask your agent?
Huh?
Can you ask your agent?
Can I ask my agent? Let me ask the live stream. Should we keep doing the live stream? If there's no,
If this doesn't switch on, is it fine?
No, we got to switch it on. Here, I got you. I'll just press and hold this button. There you go. You're on.
Nice.
She's like, oof. The power of the long press. Give a big round of applause. Archana, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for so much of the applause. I hope the talk is good enough for all the energy that you put in. I'm going to quickly talk about what we are building, and this is like a free tool and an open source package as well, as Langflow was. So I think quick show of hands, how many of us have used please and thank yous with Claude or GPT while prompting, or while writing prompts to these models? Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, there was this post in X saying that actually Sam Altman was talking about how OpenAI is spending millions of dollars in just please and thank yous. And we also realized that, which is why we came up with scale down. And imagine using this please and thank you maybe 10,000 times a day while creating your AI agents, right? The number of tokens is just a multiplication factor. And at the end of the day, you are actually increasing token costs, which increases your overall API cost. And we have a quick demo to sort of understand how this works. But the major problem that we're working with here is understanding the human habit problem. Most humans are very verbose in the way that they talk to models, and we're trying to figure out a way to cut that down and to make it more sensible to models versus us. Yeah. I'm just going to show a quick demo on this. So let us say this is some kind of prompt that you have set up with GPT. So this is a very long prompt, so maybe something that the customer wrote. And over here, we have this cool extension. I hope you think it's cool as well, that we built. It's a free tool in Chrome extension. And what it does is it captures the text on the screen. And you can also choose to write your own templates. So I put in different kinds of templates, if you want to write a professional email, you can click on use, you can just write the subject, or you can use different kind of templates that are available here. And then, you can click on next. You can also apply a prompt style to this. Let us say you want to apply chain of thought or concise or standard, or I do often is that I write, pretend you're an expert in something. So you can also choose to do that. And then, let us say you chose chain of thought, right? And then if you click on analyze and optimize, what we actually help you do is reduce the number of tokens in the prompt. So over here, you can see it is almost a 45% reduction. And then you can choose to insert the prompt. And another fancy thing that we let you do is, even if you go ahead and optimize the prompt, you can actually come to know about your carbon footprint. So we actually help to map that, okay, if you were able to reduce the tokens by a certain amount, that equates to the amount of carbon footprint that's actually, reduced. And feel free to come to me and ask me questions about this. I only have 5 minutes, but yeah, there's a whole math behind how the carbon footprint came along. But this is the quick demo of how it works. And I think it's super useful for anyone in their, agent pipeline, because if you look at AI agents, and I think it was talked enough, there's the various steps along the way, and tokens increase. And I think especially you have this exponential, token, I guess chart of the growth that happens, which means that there's a multiplication factor for cost and also for carbon footprint, both of which we are trying to reduce. You can also check out our Python package. You can import it using scale down, and you can try it out and go ahead and check out the package. It's open sourced, and it'll help you reduce the total tokens that you're using for the model. Yeah, and that is pretty much it, because I want to really keep it on time, but feel free to check it out. And if you have any questions, can I take questions?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Yeah, you can take them off the stage.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to keep it to my time. And yeah, thank you so much again, everyone, for listening.
Thank you, Archana. The reason we we don't do questions and lightning talks is because sometimes questions turn into conversations, and then the person's up here, and the next one's waiting to go. But you can have conversations. Archana's here.
Yes.
So have that off stage. Our next and last does anyone else want to give a lightning talk real quick? No? I'm leading you. No. If you want to, the stage is open. But we're going to wrap up with our last one. Do you need a laptop?
I'll use yours.
You'll use mine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Our next speaker, his name is Eugene. Eugene's the Western version.
Yeah.
But he comes from the East. Eugene and I worked together, actually, a long time ago. But it was brief, yeah. It was just a couple of months. Yeah. I was on the way out when he was on the way in. I'm going to bend over and plug in my HDMI cable. This isn't weird, right? People told me, don't do things like this on stage. It's not very professional. And I'm like, who makes the rules? Anyway, here you go, Jürgen. Our next speaker is...
Where should I?
I don't know, man. It's your sweater. Our next speaker built something, and he wanted to show it. It's to do with Telegram. He's Eastern European, so it's, of course, to do with Telegram. That's the I'm going to kill you after this.
I never use doc, mate. How do you open a new browser tab?
Command T, just like every other browser.
Command T, cheers.
Yeah, and he actually, can I share my screen real quick with a live stream? Sorry. Just gonna go here, reload. Check this out. You'll see something called infinity mirroring. Watch this.
Love it.
I love this. This is the coolest thing ever. A friend of mine has a patent to solve this problem, but until... Whoa! Anyway, yeah, you can go to your tab.
Recursion.
So he's going to show us a Telegram bot.
Even two things.
Two things?
Two things.
Oh
little
my.
things, silly things.
In 5 minutes.
But yeah. They are little, really.
You know, he's
really
going to show us silly things he built because, like, I like that, you know? Previously, this is what meetups used to be. This is what conferences used to be until big tech companies were like, oh, we can sell stuff. Let's do sales pitches on stage. This is by developers for developers. You ready?
Yeah.
Excellent. The mic's over there.
Can you guys hear me if I speak like that? Yes, of course. Of course.
Your biggest round of applause for the last dog of the night, Eugene!
Thank you for the very warm welcome, and yeah, I'll keep it quick. My name's Eugene, and I love using technology to do like not serious things, but also like silly things. Yeah. So and some people call it creative technology, some people call it web art, but either way, without further ado, I'll show you two little things, hopefully, or at least one, that you can also do with AI, which is like, has nothing to do with agents or helping you not to wake up in the middle of the night, but like, you know, pure silliness. So I had this idea in the middle of a yoga class where I learned that smiling is actually good for you and like, according to neuroscience at least, produces serotonin and dopamine, other good chemicals in your head, and your brain is stupid because it can't tell between like a real smile or a forced smile. So I thought, why not use AI to turn smiling into a game where you basically have to smile for as long as possible. And it turns out that, I hope that the models will load, that you can do this, and by the way, without any, goddamn, this takes, okay, here we go. The Wi-Fi is really off. Oh, okay, no, wait. Wow. Yeah, see, smiling, not smiling, smiling, not smiling. And the coolest thing is that, yeah, I did like 5 minutes, but yeah, you can submit your high scores. That is what I've forgotten to show. So this is like a really a game, and please do not ask me why the first is Vladimir Putin, who smiled for 10 minutes. I have nothing to do with that. So yeah, I think a cool thing worth mentioning is that this is all client-side, which is crazy, as in nothing is recorded, nothing is getting processed with any APIs or whatever. And the library that I found to do that, like facial recognition and emotional recognition, was written in 2020 by a guy working at Google at the time. And this whole front-end thing is less than 1 megabyte in size, which is what? Insane. At least I was thinking that, you know, the computation to do this kind of thing with a live video would be much more consuming. Yeah. So there is that. And Tejas, how much time do I have left?
There's a big flock like straight in front of you.
Oh, 2 minutes. Cool. If in those 2 minutes I might try to log into Telegram.
Please don't go to my WhatsApp.
Yeah, I will not go to your WhatsApp because you will sue me with the dozen shoots. I'll try to show another little bot that I built. Yeah, and I think. I really hope not. I really hope that will open Telegram settings, devices, link. Okay, okay. I never logged into Telegram on stage holding a microphone ever, but this is fun. Okay, we're logged in. So I built this thing like, yes, I want to access to the microphone, but even more so, I want access to the camera. Yes, please discard. And okay, apparently this demo will fail because the web version of Telegram does not allow for video messages, which is a shame. And yeah, well.
How can we find your bot?
Oh, so you're suggesting that right now I should do a QR code of it? Why not? Why not? This is proper silly. Okay, so QR code maker, yeah. That's awesome. That's like proper new internet. Now the only thing I have to do is to go to the previous tab.
It's on the left.
It's this one, yeah? On the left, man, that's too disorienting. And do something like share. This web telegram is so weird and so different from the normal telegram. I'm so lost, guys.
Maybe the three dots on the
There is no share. There is no share. What's going on? There is no link. There is no share. Like, the only thing I can do is the username. But like, okay, fine. So basically, maybe ted.me, like that. That's the link. Yeah.
Add some HTTPS maybe?
Let's see. Don't you think that it should be enough for the... Yeah. This is so sad. This is so sad. This is the saddest demo you've ever seen your entire life. You've seen sadder. Okay, good. Give it up for all the sadder demos that you've seen so far. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. If you, however, copy that, create QR code. There are errors to fix. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
So you can go on Telegram and just text at stereotype bot. Stereotype? What is that?
Yeah, stenotype bot. Stenotype bot. Yes.
Yeah, so just chat with that on Telegram.
Yeah, but basically to give you a brief preview of what would happen, at least to people in the first two rows, what I've done is that I can record a video circle like that. And now I sent this message to the bot, and hopefully what will happen in a couple of seconds is that my video message will come back to me. Yeah, and you can see that it did. Please, gentlemen, can you confirm that the message is visible?
Yeah. Can you see it on the web? Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Guys, it's like I'm in a full room of IT people. This is genius, we figured it out. So, hopefully this is visible, that under the video there is like yellow lines, and those are like subtitles. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I built this like 2 years ago as a little experiment. Yeah, that was before sort of voice notes and like subtitles in your Meet calls and whatever became pretty much the norm. But I think this is a fun way not to only use Whisper, also not through API, but rather on my little VPS with Whisper model adapted for whatever, doesn't matter, who cares, together with FFmpeg, together with some other things to like use a familiar UI element in a sort of different way. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Cheers. And now I need to log out.
Yeah, or not. I mean, I'm happy to pretend to be you with all your friends. Can you imagine? Hey, everyone, you're good. Just kidding. Anyway, that's it. No one else wants to give a lightning talk, right? Just going once, going twice. Great. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for being a part of the Berlin AI community. We're going to do this again, end of June, last Thursday in June. Mark the date, and we'll do it again. Oh, we have a raffle. Can we do it in June? Half the people left. Okay, you know what? We're going to move the raffle. Was anyone come here expecting a raffle, by the way? Great. What? Who's that? Anyway, cool. So then if nobody came, nobody's going to be disappointed. We will reuse this raffle in June. For you to know, we're giving away 2 licenses to JetBrains. So if you wanted to use like WebStorm, that's a JetBrains editor, right? We'll give those away next time. Until then, give it up again for Yevgen, everybody.
Thank you.
And we will see you at the next one. The time's yours now. Feel free to stick around, network, get some food, get some drinks. Or if you have to leave, do that too. Thanks again for coming. We'll see you around.
Next event, right?
Yeah.
I would also like to help you in any way.
Wow, thanks, bro.